Guys, let's discuss this question. What it is saying to us is there is a 7-year-old girl comes to the clinic with nasal congestion and facial pain. The patient first developed congestion over a year ago. Her parents has been treating it with the over-the-counter medications, but there has no improvement. Over the past 4 months, the congestion has worsened, and now the patient is having difficulty in breathing through her nose. She also has developed dry cough and a constant dull pain over the cheeks, this side, and the patient stool has been loose. There is loose stool complaint is there. The temperature is 100 Fahrenheit, and there is history of weight loss. There is earlier 3 months prior the weight was 19 kgs. Now it is 18 kg. Examination reveals copious yellow mucus with both the nares. The nares are filled with the yellow mucus, and there is translucent gray shiny masses that is obscuring the middle turbinate. Means both the turbinates, in the middle turbinate there is a mass which is in the gray color and shiny, that is suggestive of polyp. So she is also having bilateral polyposis. There is no lymphadenopathy. The lungs are clear. There is no lymphadenopathy. The lungs are the lungs are having coarse breath sounds, and the abdomen is soft and no organomegaly. They are asking what is the most probable diagnosis. So let's talk about the points that they have discussed, then we'll come back to the options. See, what they are saying is, in the question they are saying that this girl is having continuous, we can say, infection in the respiratory tree, in the nasal cavity as well as in the sinus. So I can say she was suffering from chronic rhinosinusitis. And this can be justified by the facial pain that is occurring in the cheek area along with the nasal discharge. What she also is having is bilateral nasal polyposis. Along with that, she is also having history of weight loss, or I can say in other words, failure to thrive. She is also having complaint of loose stool. So if we see all these symptoms as a group, they are classically seen in cystic fibrosis. Now let's understand what is cystic fibrosis is. If we go to the pathology of the cystic fibrosis, the pathogenesis of the cystic fibrosis, see what happens in cystic fibrosis. There is mutation in the CFTR gene. If I particularly say the most common site of the mutation is 508, F508, that is the most common site. And because of that, what happened is, if there is mutation in the CFTR gene, what it is going to do is, it is working in the transport of the chloride ion as well as the sodium ions. So basically, because of there is mutation, so I can say there is abnormal transport of chloride and sodium ion, particularly the chloride ion. There is abnormal transport of the chloride ion, and because of that, what happens is these transporters CFTR are there where the mucus secreting cells are there. So the mucus becomes very thick. The mucus becomes thick, and because it is thick, so it will be stagnant, and once it will be stagnant, it will lead to infection that will be recurrent in nature. Now, because these channels are not only present in the nasal cavity, they are present in the several other parts of the body also, so the symptoms will be according to that. See, what happens is these CFTR genes or the CFTR transporters, we can say, they are present in the respiratory tree and the sinus. So the patient will have chronic rhinosinusitis, and that is being manifested by the nasal discharge and the facial pain. Then where these are located, they are also located in the pancreas. So the patient will have pancreatic insufficiency. Pancreatic insufficiency means the pancreatic enzyme will not be secreted, and if the pancreatic enzyme will not be secreted, it will lead to fat malabsorption. This fat malabsorption will lead to the blotting or can lead to loose stool, as well as will lead to weight loss, or I can say there will be failure to thrive. Along with that, these cystic fibrosis are classically associated with bilateral nasal polyposis. So if you see these features in a combination, chronic rhinosinusitis, weight loss, loose stool, failure to thrive, bilateral nasal polyposis, suggestive of cystic fibrosis. There is a similar disease that I want to discuss here, and that is with the name of Carter-Jenner syndrome, which is also called as primary ciliary dyskinesia. Now, what is primary ciliary dyskinesia is, what happens in this disorder is, see, this will also have chronic rhinosinusitis, because the mucus, there is a problem not with the mucus, now with the cilia. The cilia are not moving. As the cilia is not moving, the mucus will be stagnant, again will lead to reinfections. Then what else in the Carter-Jenner syndrome we are going to have? The patient will have infertility because the sperm will not move. Along with that, a classical sign that you are going to see in Carter-Jenner, that is situs inversus, which is also defined as dextrocardia, means the heart will be on the right side. So these are the features that you have to look for in a case of Carter-Jenner syndrome. Now, in over discussion, the winner that they have given in this question, why it is not Carter-Jenner syndrome? Because in Carter-Jenner syndrome there is no weight loss. In Carter-Jenner syndrome there is no weight loss. So the answer cannot be the primary ciliary dyskinesia in this question, because this girl is having weight loss that is against the Carter-Jenner syndrome or the primary ciliary dyskinesia. So let's go to the option. So they were asking the diagnosis for this particular condition: chronic rhinosinusitis, nasal polyposis, failure to thrive, abdominal pain, no lymphadenopathy. The answer is going to be cystic fibrosis. And I have explained you why the answer is not primary ciliary dyskinesia. I have explained you that. Why it is not nasopharyngeal carcinoma? If you look at the option B, why it is not that? The reason for that is because nasopharyngeal carcinoma will present as, most of the time will present as facial swelling along with the neck swelling. The most common presentation, in fact, of nasopharyngeal carcinoma is going to be cervical lymphadenopathy, and they have clearly mentioned in the question that there is no lymphadenopathy. So nasopharyngeal carcinoma again is ruled out, and in this age group it is not commonly seen. The last is seasonal allergic rhinitis. In seasonal allergic rhinitis there is no weight loss. And in the question they have given that the girl is having weight loss, so D cannot be the answer. So the answer to this question is going to be cystic fibrosis. Right? Thank you.